review these proctor map testing instructions prior to test day. In order to proctor our map tests this spring semester, it is important that you follow these instructions. Testing has changed since the last time we have proctored tests. First, go to the link provided to you in the email. From the back of the room, you will be taken to this page in your web browser. You can log in using your school email address. If your password has not been provided to you in an email, or you cannot find that email, simply click on Forgot Username and Password, and a new one will be emailed to you. From here, we can control all of the tests on testing day from the back of the classroom where students are being monitored for their map test. Simply click on Manage Test Sessions. From here, we need to choose a test that we are going to proctor. If I click on Test My Class, you will notice that I have a variety of options. All of my classes should be listed here. If all of your classes are not listed, please contact Rebecca Hinman immediately. This is why it is important to check before testing day to make sure that all of your tests are set up. I'm going to use this test class to test to give you an example of what it should look like on testing day. I have begun the test, and here you can see a list of students will appear. I currently only have one student in this class, but all of your students will appear here. We now have the option to assign a test to students so that they cannot make the mistake of taking the wrong test. I can simply click on an individual student, or I can select all students to assign a test. Click on Assign Test and pick the correct one from the drop-down menu for your class. And now we have to wait for students to log in. The information here at the top of the screen needs to be shared with students so that they can properly log in to the testing system. Simply write down the testing session name on the board in the classroom. Also, give students access to the password. This password will change each time you log in to this testing session. Let's take a quick look at what this will look like from a student's perspective. Students will be entering the map testing through an icon on their desktop. When they enter the map testing, it will ask them for the testing session name, which you will have provided to them from that proctor screen that we just looked at, as well as the password provided. As soon as they click Join, it will ask them to pick their name from a list of names. All of the names of the students in your class should appear here, and they should then select their name. Because we've already assigned a test for them, they cannot make this mistake of choosing the wrong test. It will then ask students to verify that the information is correct, and now they will be waiting for the proctor to confirm that they can take the test. Now, from the proctor screen, we should be viewing that students are waiting. Sometimes we have to refresh the status, and now it tells us that the student is waiting to be confirmed. Simply click on each individual student or select all students and confirm their test. When testing has ended, simply click on End Testing Session. At this time, you will be given the choice of saving or deleting. Be sure to save this test. At the end of the first day of testing, since many students do require more than one day, it is important to save this testing session name and remember which class period this is reserved for. If I save the testing, then when I come back to my Manage Testing Session screen, I will notice that that session has been saved for the next class. On day 2 of map testing, when I log in and I come to my Manage Testing Sessions, now all I have to do is find the class that I wish to test under my Save Testing Sessions. Click on Test Now, and provide students with the new password. They will log in just the same as they did on day 1 with the same testing session name, but now will require a new password. You will again have to confirm students who are waiting to start the test, and at the end of the testing period, again, end your testing session. Save it and exit. If testing is currently taking place, you may pause any student's test. For instance, if they have to leave to use the restroom, you may click on that student and select an action to pause. If you want to interrupt a session, it might be important to use the proctor pin number that is located up here at the top of your testing session. Be sure to review this information prior to testing day. Give yourself plenty of time to become familiar with the testing.